Hey guys, so back up close and personal for a concealer tryout, all right? Y'all know that it is still all black everything February. So today I am trying out Beauty Bakerie's concealer, okay? Y'all have seen me use this, I believe, in my first tutorial for the month where I did the blue look, and I'll link that up here in the cards and then down below. So Beauty Bakerie is a black-owned brand, black-owned, woman-owned brand. She's a cancer survivor. She started the line for her daughter, something like that. Anyways, backstory will be linked down below. So they are kind of they're an indie brand, real catchy, real cute with their names, and they have a ton of products. I believe they started out with liquid lipsticks a while ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, and they have since branched out. Y'all have seen me use like their mascara, their brow gel, that kind of stuff during the month of February, right? So they recently dropped concealers as their foray into complexion products, okay? So the ones that I purchased were pro-caffeinating, okay? So that's that one. And then I got your Beautiful, which is this one. And then I also picked up Cool Beans, which is this one. Okay. And I didn't tell y'all the name. So this is called the Cakeface concealer, right? So I have my foundation on. It's not set. It is a stick foundation. So yeah, hopefully it matches. This is a new foundation too. It looks like it's a good match, but we'll see. So these foundations are interesting, all right? So I've originally only picked up your Beautiful and Cool Beans, these two colors, right? But it was almost as if it wasn't light enough for me to highlight with, which is, y'all know that's why I use concealer, okay? These concealers almost have a liquid lipstick-esque type feel to them, meaning you put them down, and you know how we usually put down if you use concealer to highlight, so you put it down in your zones, your under your eyes, your T-zone, around your mouth, that kind of thing, right? These dry so fast, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put them on. I'm going to use your Beautiful, and then I'll probably just tap a little bit of pro-caffeinating right in here, okay? Another thing about these concealers, they are very neutral, okay? This, your Beautiful, if you're like me and you have a lot of golden in your skin, it will almost pull, well, not almost, it does pull pink, okay? So like, you see how I am putting it down like I'm trying to hurry up? I add in the pro-caffeinating to give it a bit more yellow. And then you really got to go in and blend, because they're so interesting. They are so interesting. So, ooh, is it going to show y'all? I'm not seeing it in my camera. Okay, so that's that side blended out, all right? And if you have liney eyes like me, so I have a very deep crease right here. It is, in my opinion, this is not friendly for creasy eyes, all right? It's almost like you would think, because it is so matte, it would, you know, where you put it, it will stay, but it almost migrates or separates where you have your creases, okay? Let me do the other eye. Okay, so that's both eyes done. So I am still going to set this even though it's set. So, oh, I hope y'all can see this. So, like my line right here, the concealer almost, I don't know how to explain it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes with the Beauty Bakerie's flower powder. This is their translucent powder. Okay, so that's my under eyes with the product. All right, it is a very matte product. So one, if you have liney eyes like me, it does take an extra bit of work to make this work. Okay, and by the end of the day, I mean, y'all will see, this is a review, so it's not a first impressions. I've used this for what, going on 3 weeks now. This is like my 5th or 6th time wearing it. So Lord, what was I going to say? So, like, I know how it's going to wear. And so, if you are like me and you do have liney eyes and you're of a certain age, you're not, you know, you don't have 21-year-old skin anymore or whatever, it could cause you a bit of issues. If you're drier under your eyes or anything like that, see, I shouldn't have done that. Now it's going to look crazy. So if you're drier or anything like that, you know, it could cause issues also. And you see how it took my foundation came off right here. So yeah, it is such an interesting product. It's almost tacky in some places. And like where you let it dry, like, do you see how my foundation is off? It's it's so interesting. It really is, it really acts like liquid lipstick in my opinion. It acts like liquid lipstick. It is so odd. And I mean, all you got to do is really kind of blend and pat and all that stuff, and it does come back together. Come on, focus camera. So it does come back together, you see? So like where my foundation came off is now back, but you know, it almost, it literally acts like a finicky liquid lipstick, which is super interesting. Never had a concealer this this, what you call it, this formula. It is very liquidy, and I think I am going to use it as a lipstick today because I do want to wear nude lips because I'm really not doing anything on my eyes or whatever. So it does make a really good eyeshadow base, which of course would make sense or whatever, just because it is so liquidy, or not liquidy, but so matte and tacky. So I'm literally just putting that down on my eye. Okay, so that's my face with the concealer on it, and yeah, my foundation is coming off right there. So I'm just going in and kind of pressing in my foundation again because it's kind of coming off right there. And around my nose, it kind of got piecey. Can you see it? See how I got piecey right there? So I'm just gonna go in with the tip and kind of try to work that around. Right, and then just taking and setting various areas. And I'm gonna use Beauty Bakerie around my whole face today to set. Okay, so that's what my face is looking like set with everything. Okay, let me finish my makeup and I will be back. All right guys, so makeup is done and I've had this, when did I start putting this on? Maybe 5:15. So it's 5:45. Come on. 5:46. So I've had this on for about 30 minutes, okay? And I wish I could figure out how to like get y'all really like super close. Let me move my mirror. But let me see. It's 30. So I don't know if you can see, but you see how there's a little grayness on that line right there, this line. So it has already separated, okay? So it's already separated. Is what it is. Knew that was going to happen, but otherwise I'm ready to go to work today. So I'm gonna wear this for about 12 hours. Y'all know how it is. I'll be back around 5:30 this afternoon to show you exactly how it wore, exactly how my face wore. Well, really the concealer, because my face is my face. So very, very nude look. Y'all know that usually for work I don't have a lot of time, so this is what usually gets done. Okay, so yeah, I will be back in a few. Hey guys, so I'm back and it is 5 o'clock. Focus, there we go. It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. All right, so I have focus. All right, I've had this makeup on, or this concealer on, for 12 hours, okay? And this is always the hardest thing to do. So let me see if I can. So is it showing? So I don't know if y'all can see this. Let me see. So you see where there's like a little grayness right here? So the concealer has definitely wore off and creased something serious in my lines, right? It's gathered and all that stuff. Neither here nor there. I expected that to happen. Like I said, I've worn this concealer before. So yeah, it is, it didn't, what you call it? It didn't, not get oily, but it didn't kind of, besides creasing, it didn't, yeah, can you tell I'm tired? It did not kind of flake away. That's not the word that I'm looking for, but y'all get what I'm saying. So it stayed put. Like I said before in the beginning, this is a very matte concealer. So if you have drier under eyes, I don't think it'll be the best for you, just because end of the day today, my eyes, I don't know if y'all can see, but they're looking a little crepey to me. But that's, you know, it is what it is. I hope it's coming across on the camera, but it looks crepey. It looks, let me look directly. Yeah, it just looks a little crepey, like kind of like wrinkled papers, you know. So it is what it is. Pros of this concealer: it is pretty full coverage. If you have severe darkness under your eyes or wherever you're trying to conceal, it may need a bit of building up. So that's that. If you are looking for a matte concealer, it is definitely a matte concealer, so that's also good. The shade range is decent. The way that they did it, they did too light or too fair, too light, too medium. Anyways, it's an even distribution from light or light fair to deep dark. I'll link a post below that has all the shades of the concealer. Okay, so it's an even distribution of all the shade range. Okay, some cons. For me, this concealer runs a bit too neutral, borderline pink. The shade that I would use is your beautiful, and it is just a little bit too pink for me. I prefer something that's a bit more golden, has a bit more yellow in it, and this is just way too cool for my liking. And then when I did go with the one that they had that had more yellow in it, this Pro-caffeinating, it is just a bit too light to use on its own for me, right? Another con, I don't care for the formula. Okay, it is matte, but it's a little too liquidy for my liking, and the way it blends out. Now, this is not something I would say to use a sponge with like I did. It is probably best used with a brush that you can kind of buff in, just because y'all saw what happened with the sponge. Once it does get a little tacky, or once it does start to dry, it will pull and lift whatever products you have underneath it. At least that is my experience. So I'm really like super up close and personal today. Sorry guys. So if you do think that you'd have an issue with that, go in with a brush. I don't like using brushes under my eyes like that. It kind of pulls and tugs, and like I said, hopefully the video's up. If it's not up, I feel like I've aged within the last month or so with my eyes. I feel like my eye lines have gotten that much deeper within the last month. So anything I can do to kind of not pull and tug my eye area, I'm going to not do. Okay. But yeah, overall, it's a decent concealer. The shade is just very off for me. The formula is not one that I care to work with as far as typical concealer type application for me. It does work well as a spot concealer since it does dry so fast, and being that it does have a red tint, the color Cool Beans is one that I can use to kind of correct some areas. But it works wonderfully as a eyeshadow primer, which is kind of cool. I mean, that's the only eyeshadow I have on, that with translucent powder on, and my bronzer in the crease today. So yeah guys, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this review of the Beauty Bakerie Cakeface concealer. Yeah. All right guys, so hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.